All right, welcome to this episode of Tea of Life podcast. I am Tiffany, your host, and we are going to be talking today with Kristina Thrasher. And if you are familiar with Tea of Life podcast, you have heard her episode number 53, where we talked about her aneurysm and how it led to her finding her purpose. If you have not heard that episode, then I encourage you to go back and listen because it's an absolutely amazing story. But today we're going to be talking with Kristina on a different note. As you know, we are currently in quarantine right now, self-isolating from the coronavirus. And this is a worldwide thing that's going on right now. So I know that every one of you who are listening know exactly what I'm talking about. And you're probably finding yourself in a place where you are not enjoying being home, or maybe you are enjoying being home. I'm finding that there's like a mixture of both. So I want to talk with people and get their perspective on what's going on so that everybody out there can realize that you're not alone, no matter how you feel during the situation. And maybe even add a little entertainment to you as well while you're just kind of binge watching YouTube or listening to podcast episodes. So this is Kristina Thrasher. Say hello, Kristina.
Hello, Kristina.
So Kristina and I have been friends for a long time, and she's one of my best friends, and we do a lot of stuff together. And right now she's actually sitting in her craft room, which I am extremely jealous of. I will tell you that. And if you guys, if you've been following me, you know that I have like, I have personal space envy, I guess, maybe, because like we live in a smaller home, we've chosen to do that. And I need my personal space sometimes, and especially during this quarantine. So I'm looking at Kristina and I see her in her crafting room, but more importantly, there's some things behind her on her wall that are her, I would say probably your most prized possessions, aside from your kids and your husband, possibly.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that, Kristina collects something very unique. So tell us what those are back there.
So I'm trying to think okay. So I'm our family's a huge Marvel fan, and it started back, probably whenever Iron Man 1 came out, I think it was. It kind of fell around Mother's Day weekend whenever it premiered. And so I knew that my husband wanted to see it, and my kids would be interested even at a younger age. So since my son was into superheroes and whatnot. And so I figured, for Mother's Day, why don't we go watch this Marvel movie? It'd be kind of fun for everybody. And it ended up being so much fun that I became a diehard Iron Man fan. We are house divided. My husband loves Captain America, and my daughter loves Captain America, and me and my son love Iron Man. And so over the years, I've started collecting little pop figures and stuff like that. The kids collect gaming pop figures. Bill collects Captain America pop figures, and I get Iron Man. And so my collection is starting to grow a lot more, and I have some of the exclusives and that sort of thing, so it's great. And I have some artwork that was done by a local artist that we got at MomoCon last year. Mm-hmm. So I'm really heartbroken that MomoCon's not happening this year, because I was really looking forward to getting some more stuff to add. I'm going to need more shelves and stuff like that, but yeah, it's been fun. And the funniest part was Bill ordered me one for my birthday, which was in February. And it didn't come in until after the beginning of March, when this whole COVID-19 thing started. And guess where it came?
China.
So he had it shipped to his work, and he said the funniest thing was whenever the person brought it to the office and his boss saw where it was from, the first thing he did was Lysol the box down. Nobody could touch it until it was Lysol'd. And this was before it ever really got bad here. But yeah, it's kind of funny. So yeah, but I have the collectibles up there. I love Iron Man. We're a huge Marvel family. So yeah, that's it.
That's awesome. So I guess I didn't realize that you just became a Marvel fan through your kids and going to the movie theater. I think that I kind of thought that it was something that you've liked for a long time.
Okay. No, I mean, I didn't grow up with all that. I mean, yeah, we saw that sort of thing, but whenever the Marvel Universe really came out, what's it been, 10, 12 years now? Since it first hit big, and just the movies were so great, and they were great for all of us. And like I said, they would always come out around Mother's Day weekend. And so it was the perfect time. So we have spent pretty much every Mother's Day weekend in the movie theater seeing one of the Marvel movies. But obviously over the last couple of years, they started getting a little bit earlier and earlier. So, but yeah, that's been our tradition for years, and it's been a great one. So, and I hope it continues.
So how did you feel when you were in the movie theater and you were watching Iron Man and you were watching him till the end of, like, I don't want to spoil it I'm sure everybody's seen it at this point, right? I mean, if you haven't, then hello, I'm sorry, spoiler alert, Iron Man dies. So, it's your own fault. You should have seen it by now. So, how were you in the movie theater when that happened?
Crying. Not gonna lie.
I was a basket case.
I knew it was coming. I mean, honestly, I thought that there was a chance that it could have happened earlier. Was it like Civil War or whatever? Was that what it was? Gosh, they all jumble in my head. I can't remember. But whenever him and Captain America really started fighting, especially whenever they found out about the whole Bucky killed his parents and that sort of thing, the Winter Soldier. So, yeah, I knew it was coming. But, yeah, when it really happened, it's hard. But I think because I knew it was coming, it was a little bit easier. But, yeah, I mean, I know he's just a figure. And
I know.
Just a character. But I just always loved it. And I'm happy because this finally, for the actual actor, Robert Downey Jr., I'm excited because one of my other favorite things of his was the Sherlock Holmes series. And so they did, 1 and 2. When they were going to start doing 3, it just never, ever happened. Probably, I would assume, because all the Marvel filming. So now he's freed up to do other things. And I know that Sherlock Holmes 3 is supposed to be in the works.
Well, yeah, because if Iron Man was played by anybody else, we would not be Iron Man fans. Let's just be serious. Let's be real here, okay?
And that's what Bill always says, and I'm like, no, honestly.
I mean, unless it was Vin Diesel, then maybe.
That's yours, yeah. Well, for me, it's honestly the character. It's more so.
My husband's over here beating the counter.
I'm sure. Yeah,
he's going to shave his head later.
I like the just the wit, the sarcasm, the little witty, whatever. That's the kind of personality that I like, probably because I can be a lot like that. So I don't know. That's just, I really identify more with that character than I do with the Captain America character. Obviously Bill's probably going to go more Captain America simply because he was in the military. So, and he's all about America, So,
I'm making it great.
I don't know. But yeah, so I don't know, but that's just mine. So we're house divided, and that's okay. It's no big deal. So
awesome. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. So now that we've gotten to know your, your secret passion, maybe it's not so secret here.
Not anymore.
I have some questions for you, and we're going to talk about like our current situation. And so I sent you some of these questions. I say some of these questions in advance. Yes, I have a couple that
pop questions
that you're not aware of.
Oh, yeah.
But that's okay. It'll be fun. So, first of all, my question to you is, are you okay? And do you feel like you're hanging in there? And by talking to you right now, I can tell that answer, I already know the answer to that, but I just want our audience to know, are you okay? And do you feel like you are hanging in there?
Yes, I am more than okay. And yes, I am hanging in there.
And do you have enough toilet paper?
Yes.
Because that kind of goes along with the whole, are you okay? Are you hanging in there? Do you have enough toilet paper? Like that's like a valid question,
Yeah, I have more than enough. I probably shouldn't say that because some people are like, I need toilet paper. But no, I, back before it all started, I just kind of, I don't know, just hearing different things on the news or whatever, just kind of gave me a little, okay, I'm a I'm gonna call myself a prepper. But in some ways, I grew up, my parents canning and stuff like that, and always preparing and having extra stuff. So that was one thing. And I buy my toilet paper at Sam's. So I buy the big pack when I do. So before this all happened, I knew I was kind of getting low, and I happened to go to Sam's and bought a big old pack. So yeah, I'm good. So far, I'm good. I have toilet paper.
Awesome. And I have to say that the toilet paper in your house is probably worth more than your bobbleheads back there right now. So
right now, yeah. I joked with Bill about the toilet paper because we do have an extra pack that I found just because, I had one of those moments like, okay, I found it. I got to buy it for myself or in case somebody else were to need it. And I looked at him today. I was like, should we start giving out toilet paper for wedding gifts this year? Graduation gifts.
That would be hilarious.
That
would be hilarious.
That's where he was like, how much are we spending on people? Well, how much do you think toilet paper is worth?
I know, right?
You get a bulk pack. We really love you.
Right. Well, like when you do like, a lot of times for baby showers, they'll do like the diaper cakes.
Right.
So you could just do a toilet paper
cake. Yeah. With a mask on top and some Lysol. And a hand sanitizer,
That'd be great for their honeymoon. I tell you, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, because you're probably going to be quarantined.
Yeah, exactly.
Good luck on married life.
I haven't seen any weddings yet, though, that are wearing the mask. I think that would be hilarious for a bride, to kind of deck out her mask with like beads and,
that'd be fun.
Rhinestones and stuff and just have some kind of, I think that would be.
I think they need to do some cake toppers. Awesome. Cake toppers would be awesome.
For sure. Well, the bride and groom need to have masks on. I think that would be.
And the bride can be bedazzled,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Blinging.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're giving some great ideas right now. I don't know why people don't ask us to
Maybe we shouldn't give these ideas. We should just work on it.
I know, right? I don't know why people don't ask us to direct their wedding because we would rock this right now.
Yes, we would.
We would do really well. We got some great ideas.
It would be a wedding never to forget.
For sure. So my next question was, if you run out of toilet paper, do you have a backup plan? But it sounds like you're not going to be running out of toilet paper. So you don't necessarily need a backup plan.
We run out of toilet paper. That means we've gone a really, really, really long time. And it's not like I have excess. I was really surprised with all four of us being at home every single day because obviously Bill's working at home right now. I thought we would run through it a lot faster than we have, but we haven't. So
we've been rationing. So I'm like, okay, you get 4 sheets. So a few episodes ago in one of my podcasts, I had talked about like how I know exactly how many sheets of toilet paper I use. And this was before the quarantine that I talked about this. So I talked about how I know exactly how many sheets of toilet paper that I use. So even when I go camping or hiking, when you go hiking, you have to go in the woods, right? So I would tear off my toilet paper to, so all I have to do is just reach into the Ziploc bag and pull out the, one thing of toilet paper and then go do my business, right? I use 8 squares. So I always use 8 squares of toilet paper. Well, I'm happy to say that I have now started using 4 squares of toilet paper. So I'm using half the toilet paper that I normally use.
You're reserving more than you did in the woods.
I know. So this has actually been great. I'm like, well, I can continue this even after when the toilet paper shortage is not an issue. Well, and I can continue even being better at my toilet paper usage.
Here's another teaching moment for those at home with their kids, instead of giving them allowance, you could give them toilet paper and see how they want to ration.
There you go. I don't know. That may not turn out so well for the parents. I have boys, so that may not turn out so well for me. That may backfire in more ways than one.
Counting squares,
no pun intended.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. Moving right along. All right. So tell us a little bit about how life has changed for you in the past few weeks.
It really hasn't in a weird way. I mean, it has, but it hasn't, because obviously we're not, going to school and things like that. We're not running around all over the place. So for me, it's actually been a little bit nicer, a little more free feeling because I'm not confined to schedules and having to go and do this and do that and meet this and, whatever, and the kids all over the place. So I don't know. It's been good for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm an introvert, so
right
I'm
about
a body, so it's
right.
good.
What about for your family? Like, how do you think how has life changed for them? Are they?
I think, obviously with Bill not going to the office every day, that's definitely a change, but he's set himself up a place and he's getting a lot of work done, probably more than he would even at work. Cause
That's
he's
what
not
I hear a lot of people saying.
Stopped all the time. He's on calls constantly and he's constantly communicating with his coworkers, but he's able, I think, a little to focus in a little bit more. Obviously, he's not having to worry about the commuting and the driving back and forth, so that helps with his time. As far as the kids, Ainsley hasn't left the house. I think we got out once to drop off something for my sister-in-law for her birthday. We just showed up to drop her off something. She's like me. She's a homebody. It hasn't really phased her. She's never been one to feel like she has to be going places. If anybody, it would be Will. So basically, I think with the kids, they're a lot more plugged in, and in contact with people than we would have been back in our day. So, I think as far as Will goes, I think obviously not being able to, especially being 17, not being able to jump in the car and go meet his friends, because he just kind of got to that point where he had that freedom and he was feeling comfortable and confident to drive places and meet them and do things. But they've been troopers. They haven't said anything bad about it. Like, they're totally fine and content. I think they would like to get out of the house and do things, and they're excited for when that does happen, but they're not driving everybody crazy because they're miserable, which is good. So yeah, they're adapting very, very well. Yeah. So
yeah, same here. Our kids are doing the same. They're adapting well, but we were a homeschool family as well before. Not that we didn't ever get out of the house. I mean, I know it's like a misconception of homeschool families, but we were constantly on the go, but we're also like just being content. We're just content being at home.
Right.
And it's not like it's but then again, we have a good situation. We have a good family dynamics in our house. We have good relationships, and I know a lot of people don't have that. And it's really a big struggle for them. And my heart goes out to them, and my heart goes out to those kids. But yeah, it's not really been a big change. Okay. So you talked a little bit about how, you already school at home. So technically you're not really in the crisis schooling mode that a lot of people are finding themselves in right now. But how has this changed your perspective on the school system that your children do attend, the hybrid model?
So for our school system, like you said, we do the hybrid school thing where it is a model where they go 2 days a week and then they homeschool the other 3 days a week. But the thing about the homeschooling part is they actually have teachers and that sort of thing. So for us, anybody who goes into the particular school that we're in, you go in being set up to be able to do virtual learning, to be able to, you're going to have laptops or computers, some sort of technology or devices where you can log on and, be able to access the school portal. And we, have printers and that sort of thing. So you're going to be used to that and kind of adapt to that. So for us, we weren't really sure how it was going to go because, having those 2 days of instruction was always really vital for us, having that in-class teacher interaction. And not having it, I think we were all really nervous about it. But for my family personally, now again, I have a 9th grader and an 11th grader. So like, I can't imagine having an elementary school or a younger kid, because I'm sure it is a lot more trying because you have to do a lot more stuff, a lot more hands-on. So for us though, not knowing how it was going to go without having the teacher days, is actually going really well. Like, I applaud all the teachers for all the extra work that they're doing, everybody's having to learn how to adapt and overcome, whatever obstacles that they have. And they have been phenomenal at being able to do things virtually. The good thing is things like platforms like this, like Zoom or whatever else, they're able to actually have classroom meetings and do some instruction, which has been good. But the fact that our kids and the school across the board is used to doing virtual learning anyway, it hasn't slowed us down. If anything, it's just pushed us forward. And even for my particular family, like my son's always been able to do stuff on his own. He hasn't ever really needed help. But my daughter, who has always been a little more hands-on, even at the beginning of the school year, was still very hands-on. She's actually needed me less during this whole thing. You know, I still have to grade and proctor tests and do things like that. And now they're having to learn how to submit stuff virtually. You know, we're all learning how to scan in documents and turn the PDFs even with our phones. So thank God for technology that we're able to do all this stuff. But yeah, it hasn't slowed us down. If anything, we're able to continue business as usual. They're doing their school. You know, they're doing, the only thing that's going to change is we won't have end of the year testing as far as, you know, the big statewide testing or whatever, because nobody will be. But other than that, they're moving forward and they're going to be ready for next year. So, and they're also learning, I think the school as a whole, they're tapping into new avenues and resources that they never, you know, probably that we would ever need,
right?
But it's actually helping us better, and it's going to change the way that we do school in the future as well.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah. So it's been great.
That's great. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So how has having your spouse work from home changed your quality of life?
Why'd you laugh, Tiffany? I really wasn't sure, you know, at the beginning how it would go. But it's been fun. It actually has been great. Again, like I said before, you know, he has a room. He took the guest bedroom downstairs and just put up a table and put his stuff in there. So that's kind of his office. And, you know, he's up in the morning already doing his thing whenever I get up, and then, you know, he'll come out for lunch. So we actually get to have lunch together typically. And, you know, and he'll pop out every now and then, you know, if he needs more coffee or a snack or something, or to go to the bathroom, you know, that sort of thing. So obviously we see each other a little bit more, but, you know, it's not a matter of him getting up at 6:30 in the morning and again commuting and whatever. And instead of him, you know, if he wants to end his workday at 5 like he should, he doesn't have that extra hour commute or whatever. You know, he can be done and come out, and he's going downstairs and playing ping pong with Will every day. They kind of have this little funny thing going back and forth, you know, where he's, you know, Will's trying to beat the old man, and he's getting there. He's getting really good. And then, you know, we're able to go for a walk. You know, we're just getting a lot more time back that we were losing out on because of commuting. So, you know, he's not having to stay late at work because he's on a call. He can actually do it from the guest room, you know. So it's been really good. So, yeah.
That's nice. So I wonder, like, when all this is over and life goes back to normal, how normal are we actually going to go back to? Like, you know, I wonder if things are going to change from here on out, as far as, like, I know that your husband will eventually have to go back into the office.
Right.
There's probably going to be some finally, and oh my gosh, he's gone, you know, both at the same time. Right. And so I'm wondering though, how much life is going to change after, you know what I'm saying? Like after the focus, if the focus is going to change.
Yeah, it's going to be different for sure. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, time will tell. I mean, it's going to be different for everybody. You know, I think we've taken so many things for granted, you know, with them going to work and having the office to work at and everything like that, I don't know. I really enjoy him being at home. It's crazy because I tend to be more productive when he's here than when he's not. I always have, even on the weekends. Like on the weekends, you know, he would have off and he'd be like, you know, will you stop doing things? And it's like, well, I don't know what it is, but when he's here, I find the freedom. Maybe it's because he can deal with the dog, or he can deal with the children. We don't have cats, by the way.
We don't have cats.
Wow.
Okay. I've never known you to have a cat. Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know. Well,
I mean, nobody can answer that question. It's just, it just kind of came off the top of my head. So yeah, I'm just curious.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
To see how it goes. You know, I mean, it'll be nice when he can finally get out, because he is one of those people that he's extroverted. So, and he likes to leave the house and he likes to go and do and whatever. So I know it's been a little stressful on him. He doesn't handle it as well as I do, as far as just being at home and being left alone. So I think he's going to be itching to get out of the house and do things, but you know,
we'll
see.
Right. So you are a little bit more of an introvert. I see you as different because like I said, we're very close friends. So I don't necessarily see you as much of an introvert as maybe you actually are. But I know that you qualify, you say that you are, and that your husband is more of an extrovert. So with that, like, how has the social distancing affected you as an introvert the most?
I don't know that it's really affected me.
And that's a valid answer. Yeah.
Seriously, for me, again, like I've told you before that I'm kind of in my element, like this is kind of who I am. I'm a homebody. I've always enjoyed being at home and keeping to myself. And I know how, obviously with you, I'm definitely not introverted. I'm one of those people that unless you really get to know me, like mm-hmm. I don't know. Maybe people consider me to be a hard read because, I can be very quiet. I'm a listener. I'm a watcher. Mm-hmm. I'm an observer. Yep. So I just kind of sit back and take it all in. And, if I am able to let my guard down with you, then that's a really good thing because there's mm-hmm. not a lot of people that I do that with. I don't let a lot of people in. I've always been that way.
Right.
I've never had a big group of friends. I've never been the one that feels like I have to go out and be the center of attention and do everything. I just enjoy my little whatever. And with this right now, me and my family, that's great. That's enough. I still have all the extra communication, mm-hmm. And so it's been kind of nice for me.
Yeah.
I can kind of stick to myself,
Right. Right. So, all right. So let's reach out to like your extended family. And how are they dealing with not being able to get together with you and your family or even their other children?
Well, again, that's kind of let me think about that. Because like for my family, let's start with my family. Like my family is a lot like me as far as my parents go.
Mm-hmm.
They're, my mom's, I would say she's more okay with just kind of being at home and doing her thing or whatever. It's been hard not being able to have the ability to see them because like, both of my parents ended up coming down with COVID and they're actually, it's been
right.
a month now and they're still in quarantine because my mom, even after a month, is still testing positive. So I think the hardest thing in that regard is knowing that I can't do anything for them. I can't see them. I can't travel down to be with them, to help take care of them, to bring them what they need 3 hours away. So it'll be easy anyway. But knowing that I can't be there during these times has definitely been difficult for me. And as far as Bill's side of the family goes, they live locally and, like when it all started, we were able to have, Bill's parents over and they came over and they had dinner with us. It was really hard because they came over and it was like, no, nobody can hug, nobody can, so it's just trying new normals, because you're typically when you see your family, the first thing you do, you give big hugs and greet and stuff like that. And not doing that is just so weird, especially when people are used to having that physical contact. So Bill's sister, she got out to make a grocery store run and we were texting back and forth. So she checked in to see, do y'all need anything? And I jokingly brought up Ainsley had no coffee creamer and how sad she was about that because she hadn't had coffee in like 5 days. And so Annie was going to be the hero and she went and got coffee creamer and got some, donuts for the kids and some, snacks or treats or whatever and brought it for them. Just being able to do that and still connect has been nice.
The next couple of questions that I have for you.
Oh gosh, is this the
I did not put on the list of questions that I sent you in the beginning.
I just got nervous. Okay.
But this is going to be easy. It's going to be so easy. And I want you to answer it as quickly as possible with the very first thing that pops into your mind.
Rapid fire?
Now remember, I can edit this if whatever comes out of your mouth is not suitable for families.
You are like, you sure you want to go there?
That was why I just put in the disclaimer.
You know how squirrel I am. So you're really going to be working now. Get ready to edit.
They're very, very easy questions. Okay. So I have 3 of them for you.
Okay.
All right, the first one. And I think of this as like, you put up those little things and the first thing that pops in your mind. I've played these games with you before.
That's what I'm afraid of.
I know. All right. What is something or the one thing that you miss the most?
Oh, it's supposed to go fast?
Yes. The first thing that pops in your mind. What's the first?
Hobby Lobby, craft stores.
Hobby Lobby. That's awesome. I love that.
And Amazon not, delivering stuff, just random crap because I feel like I want it.
Yeah. Well, most people say like coffee or whatever, but I think Hobby Lobby is a fantastic answer.
And Michael.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. What do you miss the least?
I'm trying to think of how to say it. Miss the least, it would be grocery shopping in a way that it got to where every single day it'd be like, okay, what are we going to do for dinner? And
gosh, yes.
And so like I would get off of work at 4:00 after school and I'd have to go make a grocery store run. Sometimes I would go to one store, sometimes I would go to 2 because we have a Publix 1 mile one way and a Kroger 1 mile the other way. So yeah, I don't miss like looking back. It's like all the time that I've wasted and, making the grocery store trips count. Now, granted, I'm spending a lot more money that way, but I'm buying everything for 2 to 3 weeks at a time.
But you're also not eating out, that much
living
more.
Off of that, right. And it's making life so much easier. So yeah. Mm-hmm. So
I agree with all your answers so far. Like
I don't miss the random unnecessary trips. And even with Bill, it's like he calls, you need anything on the way home? Well, I know I just left Publix, but could you get, because I forgot, none of that going on. So
yeah,
it's been great. Yeah. That would be it.
Right. Yeah. I totally agree because, I think a lot of us really struggle with the whole making a meal thing. And I know that like one of the number one shows that we have in America, or one of the number one category of shows that we have in America are like food shows, like food channels, how to prepare. Recipes. We have like the Food Network for crying out loud. We have an entire channel, just dedicated to nothing but making and eating food.
Right.
Yet we can't seem to get it together enough to be able to be prepared enough to make food. And I'm totally in that same category. It's been great. Like normally I struggle with, oh my gosh, like you said, it's 4:00. What are we going to have for dinner tonight? Oh my goodness, we have to be at Scouts in like 2 hours. Right. And I don't even know what we're having for dinner,
Yeah, Chick-fil-A it is,
Right, exactly.
Let's get crap. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But now it's like, now I'm at the point where I'm just like, if I have to cook another meal, because I have so much food that I need to cook, I'm just like, I'm like the opposite, If I have to run the dishwasher one more time, we've decided that we're going to get 2 dishwashers.
Yes.
If we ever design a house, or maybe we'll redesign our kitchen, I don't know, and add another dishwasher. We're just going to have one dishwasher for clean and one dishwasher for dirty. So we pull it out, eat on it, stick it in the dirty. And then when all that's, fill up, we wash all those. And then the other one becomes the dirty. So we pull it out of the clean. Yeah, because, otherwise it's just a pile of dishes in the sink and then our dishwasher. And then I empty the dishwasher and I empty the sink and then I immediately have to run another load. And then it doesn't get emptied immediately after it's done. So then it piles up in the sink again. It's just like this ongoing process of.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So enough about me. This is about you. But I totally get it. Okay. Last question. Well, not the last question, but the last spontaneous question.
Okay.
Is how many times has Amazon visited your house in the past month?
Oh, in the past month? I have to count. See, I got something today.
How many? What day are we on?
3. See, here's the thing.
How many days are in May, and how many are March, and how many days are in April?
As far as me ordering anything, I really haven't. Will, about a week ago, because I told you that we were starting to do some stuff on his room, and he was like, "I wanna order some posters for my walls. I want to like buy them myself with the money that I have, since they're not going to MomoCon this year. They're like, I got to spend my money somewhere.
Yeah.
So, because they would typically have bought that stuff there. So he wanted to order some things and some lights for his room. So obviously they came in 3 different shipments. So they visited 3 different times last week.
Mm-hmm.
But that was not for me. That was for Will.
Yeah.
And then I had a package today come in for Will because he had to read a book for school. And the fastest way to get it without going anywhere is Amazon.
Right.
Other than that, I don't think I've really Amazoned anything, because they did the whole, they kind of squashed everything where, the prices either got really, really jacked up because it wasn't necessary to get shipped or whatever. So I've tried not to order online at all. The only other thing that I've done other than Amazon was a herbal site to get like some vitamins in before it all started, and I've ordered stuff to send to my parents, when they first got sick. Other than that, I haven't, which is so hard because I just want to hit ship, but I'm really trying not to.
Right. And the one thing that I noticed, like I would try to get my my Amazon cart, like I would find, something that I needed to purchase, and I'd put it in my cart, and then I would think, okay, I only have one thing in there, so I'm going to wait. And then I would find something else, I'd put it in the cart, and then I would get to a point where I'm like, okay, I feel okay about making this big order because I didn't want it to ship, just one thing at a time, and then buy something else and it ship. And then they end up shipping them all
and doing it anyway,
individually
separately.
Anyway. So I'm like, what is my point of waiting? I'm trying to do like this big favor of the Amazon truck only has to come to my house one time this week. No.
They're shipping from all over the place because none of it's coming from the same place. Yeah. So it was to the point where I didn't even want it like for Easter. I know my kids are older and, we would still do the Easter baskets, but I didn't even do that because I didn't want to have to order stuff and have it. I was really trying to be good, save money that way, but sorry, kid.
I know. I think, they tell us as like consumers that if we want to save money, we need to combine our errands. So I'm thinking that Amazon, in order to save us money, they need to combine their errands.
Right.
They need to combine their deliveries.
Yeah.
But, I'm who am
but
I?
I see in my neighborhood, I see constantly FedEx and UPS and the Amazon van. Like people are still ordering stuff. It's still getting delivered. I don't know what they're ordering. I don't know if it's essential or not, but
comfort stuff.
Yeah. So
they're pre-spending their stimulus check. They're like, oh, we're getting money. I'm going to buy stuff from Amazon.
No,
I'm going to buy stuff from China. We're getting money.
I know, right? No. Yeah, mine will go in my savings account, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly.
At least that's the way I'm thinking, but who knows?
Okay. What is something that you have learned during this period of time that you would like to carry forward?
I think going back to what we were talking about with the grocery store runs and the food prep and stuff like that. I mean, obviously we go way back. So, the whole like couponing and preparing and things like that, although that was a lot of unnecessary stuff probably when I look back.
Gosh, yeah.
But it's helped me. I don't know, just being able to play. I used to be really good with the couponing thing where I would meal prep and plan, and I would make my menu out for or whatever. So just trying to be a little more resourceful with what I have in the refrigerator and make it refrigerator. Making use of that, not having so much waste, being able to actually take what I buy and use it in a timely manner. Right. And the fact that, because the one thing that I told my kids, especially Ainsley, whenever we first started this whole thing was, you're going to have to learn to eat leftovers. Because she's not a fan of leftovers. There's something, it's just a mental thing like her and cheese. She doesn't like the smell of cold food and having to warm it up. It freaks her out for whatever reason. So I'm like, you're going to have to learn. There is no going to Wendy's that's, 2 minutes down the street. There's no Zaxby's, or, like none of that kind of stuff. You're going to have to learn to eat stuff here. And that's obviously been helpful, and it saved a lot of money, you know,
Mm-hmm.
we kind of do what we like to call fend for yourself for lunch a lot of times, which is, you go find whatever leftovers you want, or you do something for your, self, whether it's ramen or mac and cheese, it doesn't
You
matter.
just do that for lunch at your house?
Yeah. Why? What, do you not do lunch?
It's like the Thompson fend for yourself kitchen here.
Yeah, I've tried to make
Teaching
meals
my kid life skills. Hey, they need to learn how to cook for themselves. They need to learn how to, take care of themselves. I'm teaching them valid life skills.
See, that's what they do at lunchtime for sure. But yeah, I try to cook a meal at night. I don't. Like I told you before, there's only like 2 meals during this whole quarantine thing that I haven't cooked dinner. Because I just wasn't feeling good, or I wasn't up for it, or Bill had to leave the house, and we want to support local mom and pop businesses.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I've cooked everything. And I know a lot of people talk about how they're tired of cooking and stuff like that. I actually went into this thing, and I even met somebody in the grocery store right before it all happened. And I was like kind of buying a little bit of everything because I knew it was coming. And we both looked at each other and we're kind of looking at it like a challenge. Like, what all can I get and buy and prepare? So, I was doing things I haven't done in forever. I've learned some new skills. I've learned how to make my own bone broth. Things that I was always afraid of. I've always said, I don't do chickens. Like,
that's
that is one
long
thing I don't
process.
do. But it's not.
Oh,
Let me tell you.
Okay.
Go buy yourself a rotisserie chicken.
Right.
Get all your meat off the rotisserie chicken, however you're going to, eat it or whatever.
Right.
And then take whatever's left, as Bill's mom says, the carcass. Take it, put it in a pot of water, just boil it for a little bit. You don't even have to add anything to it, especially if it's already seasoned rotisserie chicken. Then scoop all the stuff out, drain the broth, and there you go. So I'm able to do that. So whenever I went to Sam's about a week or so ago, because I was getting really low on meat, I bought 2 rotisserie chickens and I made bone broth from it, and I put some in the refrigerator, put it in the freezer. It's good for you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm learning to do things that I've never wanted to do before. I've always been afraid to do or intimidated by. So that's kind of cool. And sharing recipes with my family members and stuff like that. Every time I tell my mom I've done something new, she's like, "Oh, you're gonna have to send me that." So like I'm giving my parents recipes, and stuff like that. So that sort of thing. It all comes down to the kitchen and being able to, I don't know, be a little more intentional with what I do and how I do it, and my time too. So yeah,
I think we're all kind of learning that in a forced kind of way, but also like a lot of people are welcoming that. I know that I'm welcoming that as well. And I think that a lot of us are learning the same things.
Right. And there's one thing that I could do right now, because my old house with the garden, how much I love gardening, and I don't have a garden at our new house. Like, if it wasn't for the fact that I'm trying to be good and not go to Home Depot or Lowe's, I would totally be building myself a garden.
I know.
Right now.
I have my garden is prepped and ready for anything to be planted, but nothing has been planted. And I know it's kind of getting late in the season already, right, even for that to happen. So yeah, we've tried to avoid our trips to Home Depot and all those things as much as possible, but it would be nice to have something, a garden going, but even it kind of gives us something else to do and something else to tend to and take care of. So
yeah. So hopefully when this is all said and done, maybe I'll finally get a garden again. I really miss it.
Yeah.
So, and I've heard some people referring to them this year as victory gardens too, because, kind of like back after the war or whatever, people do this and have all that, it's kind of a cool thing. It's new. And it's a new skill that a lot of people are learning and actually interested in, especially since you're not running to the grocery store every other day or whatever, and being able to do that stuff and even teach your kids. That's great.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. So how are you transforming your attitude during this situation?
My attitude overall, I've learned, I can be a control freak. And whereas I still am a little bit of a control freak, you're having to learn to kind of roll with the punches right now and just kind of, stay at home, do what I can to help by, try to flatten the curve or whatever. I don't know. Just stay positive. I've seen a lot of negativity and stuff, especially on social media, and people getting up in arms about things that it's like, why? what's the point? Like,
because they don't have a garden. They just need to go outside and get in a garden. That's why.
Go dig in some dirt. Go pull your weeds, please. Like, literally, physically, and metaphorically.
There you go. Like it.
But no, yeah. I don't know. I used to always be kind of one of those people where, I could probably come across very pessimistic. I know I could. But
no.
Yeah, I done learned it ain't worth it. You just got to let it go sometimes. That's why I keep telling people I've never been a big fan of Frozen, but I'm like, I'm Elsa in it today. I'm just letting that stuff go. I don't need it. I don't know. Yeah. Did that make sense?
Oh, totally. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So what's one thing that you would like to leave everyone with that you hope also transforms their attitude?
I would hope that everyone can continue to stay positive during this time. Again, don't look at everything as it's doom and gloom, just to be able to focus on the good things, the positive things, the people around you, the time that you have to reconnect with your family in a whole new way, start some new healthy habits, make some, good life changes. And just, I don't know, enjoy the time. I don't know that we'll ever have a time like this in our lives ever again. Nobody saw this coming. Nobody ever, right? Nobody ever anticipated going through this. So it's definitely, you're definitely making some memories, and, I hope that people can see it's not all about, getting in the car and going all the time, kind of take the time to sit back and enjoy what you have and where you are while you're there.
Right.
So,
I think that's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good words. Thank you, Kristina, for being here. I really appreciate it. And I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your beautiful day because it's absolutely gorgeous outside today.
We're going to go on a walk. The coolest thing is, I didn't mention this to you earlier, but there's a guy who moved in a few houses down who organizes races. And he organized a social distancing walk race. It wasn't a race, but you were supposed to do like 3 laps around the neighborhood and meet people, keeping the distances or whatever. And he was giving, anybody who completed it, he was giving out race T-shirts. He had a bunch of extra T-shirts.
Oh, wow.
He's at work right now. And so it was so great that he sent out a message yesterday going, hey, who's in for another round? You want to do it again? So we're going to have another neighborhood event where we're going to social distance walk around the neighborhood. So it's been kind of cool because we've got to see.
That's great. Yeah.
So yeah, I forgot to tell you about that yesterday.
I love it.
Yeah, it's really cool. So
very,
we're
very cool
to do that in a little bit.
That's good. Yeah. I'm glad to see that a lot of neighborhoods are pulling together and doing some really cool stuff.
Yeah, it is nice to see that. And the kids even got out with us last time. We'll see if we can drag them out this time. But, all 4 of us got out and Piper, and it was fun. So
if you need me to tell my son to hang up with your son, just let me know so your son can get outside. Shoot me a text.
Are they on now?
Probably. I don't know, but
Or Eden and Ainsley.
Yeah, right.
2 of them back and forth. It's so funny.
That's funny. All right. Well, thank you, Kristina. You have a good rest of your day, and we'll talk to you very soon.
Yeah, sounds good. What's he doing?
He's like walking and shaking his head. Okay.
Well, better than shaking. No. Bill in the background. Okay. So, oh Lord. Start over. How about I hit unrecord and then record? You saying I got an attitude? No.
Saying you need to transform your attitude, girl.
I don't know what you're talking about, but what happened was, sorry, officer.
The leprechaun.
Yes.